There are moments when nothing is being said. And yet, everything is being decided. You think confidence is something you show. But more often it's something being quietly measured. In the pauses. In your reactions. In the things you don't even notice you're doing. And by the time you realize you were being tested, the result is already in her mind. You don't feel like you're being tested. It doesn't feel like a game. It feels like you're just trying to connect. Trying to respond the right way. Trying not to mess it up. But somewhere in that effort, something shifts. You start overthinking simple things. A delayed reply suddenly feels heavy. A small change in her tone pulls your attention inward. And without realizing it, you begin adjusting. Your words become more careful. Your behavior becomes more reactive. You're no longer just being. You're watching yourself being. And that's the moment confidence quietly disappears. Not because you don't have it, but because you stepped out of it. There's something in psychology called self-monitoring. It's the mind constantly asking, how am I coming across right now? In small amounts, it helps. But when it becomes too much, it breaks your natural flow. Instead of speaking freely, you start calculating. Instead of expressing, you start performing. And people can feel that shift. Not logically, but emotionally. Because real confidence isn't loud. It's simply the absence of internal noise. So the real question isn't, how do you pass her tests? The real question is, what happens to you when you feel like you're being tested? Because most of these tests aren't planned. They're instinctive. She's not analyzing you step by step. She's observing something simpler. How stable you are. When things feel slightly uncertain. Not when everything is going perfectly. But when it's unclear. And real confidence is just the ability to stay internally steady. Without needing constant reassurance. Think of your mind like a browser with too many tabs open. One tab is the conversation. Another is her reactions. Another is your own thoughts. And then one more opens. What if I mess this up? Now your system is overloaded. Your attention splits. Your responses change. Your presence weakens. Confidence, at its core, is focus. Fewer tabs. Less noise. More presence. And this is where the silent tests begin. Not obvious. Not direct. But always revealing. First, she disagrees with you slightly. Not to argue. Just to see if you stay grounded. Or start adjusting to be liked. Second, she delays her response. And it's not about the message. It's about what happens inside you while you wait. Third, she allows silence. And in that silence, you either stay calm or rush to fill it. Fourth, she mentions other people casually. Not to make you jealous, but to see if you compare yourself. Fifth, her energy shifts. Plans change. Tone changes. And your reaction shows. Whether your stability depends on her consistency. Sixth, she doesn't validate you immediately. No praise. No reassurance. Just space. And in that space, your confidence either stands on its own, or starts looking for approval. Seventh, she watches how you leave. Do you linger, trying to extend the moment? Or do you exit naturally, without needing more? None of these are dramatic. But together, they tell her everything she needs to know. So what do you actually do? Not force confidence. Not act different. Just become aware of one thing. The moment you feel yourself shifting. The moment you start overthinking. Adjusting. Seeking reassurance. Pause. Not externally. Internally. Come back to a neutral state. You don't need to impress. You don't need to secure anything. Just respond, instead of reacting. And allow a little uncertainty to exist. Without trying to control it. There's a simple way to understand all of this. Your attention shapes your state. Your state shapes your behavior. And your behavior shapes how you're perceived. So if you try to control perception, you lose yourself. But if you stabilize your attention, everything else aligns naturally. At the end of the day, she's not measuring your words. She's feeling your presence. And presence doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from needing less. The moment you stop asking yourself, "Am I enough right now?" is usually the moment you are.